one tonight. A six delay today due to some of the rain. This is that time of season, certainly when the high humidity brings in some clouds and a little bit of moisture. But all things look good here. Green light to move ahead. Coach Carlos Avila, the head coach, working with the 15U national team, along with Coach Caleb Stewart and the Hounds team. Two clubs going after one another. Your head umpire here today, Richard, behind the plate, working with his partner, Corey, will be on the infield, a two-man crew. Once again, we welcome you here this afternoon, and it should be a good matchup here as we continue on day number 2 of the 2026 Perfect Game Music City World Series. Again, it should be a good one. We'll bring it to you here. Stay with us. We will be right back as we get ready to get things started off in the first inning. Well, bring you back into live action here. We're ready to get started here momentarily as get day number 2 and game number 2 for these clubs. One a day in this particular tournament. Prospects yesterday played their first game over at the Lawson High School field, a natural grass and beautiful facility there for the high school. And here, the Nashville Prep School, a beautiful field as well. Turf all the way around, natural grass, looks like on the outside part of the field. A beautiful setting here tonight. They call it the Valley. I was talking to the athletic director, Coach Arnold, nice gentleman, AD here at Nashville Collegiate Prep, and he's got a beautiful field as well as a football complex and a great location here just outside of the city of Nashville. As the ZT Prospects will be the home team, they'll get the bottom of the frame. And we'll get you the lineups here in just a moment. Get ready for day number 2, game 2 for the Prospects and the Hounds getting after one another here this evening. 6 p.m. start, just a little bit, few minutes after, and we'll be underway. On the defensive side for the Prospects, on the mound, the right-hander Christian Hernandez. Hernandez joining the club this season. And Hernandez will start things off. Behind the plate, Jimmy Stout. Stout will take care of things for the Prospects, managing things behind the plate. Over on the first base side, Easton O'Quinn will take care of business over there in the second base position. In the 4 spot, Jordan Leon. Over on third base, Asher Williams in the 5 spot. Your shortstop this evening, Aaron Ramirez. Ramirez will handle things in the 6th spot. Over in left field to start things out will be Trey Lawrence. Center field, Carter Nash will manage things in the outfield for the club. And over on the right side, rounding things out, will be Brody Taylor. That's the defensive set for your ZT Prospects as Hernandez gets a couple warm-up tosses here this evening. Summertime here in Nashville. Temperatures have certainly been high throughout the course of this tournament, and comfortable this time of evening as you're fortunate enough to play a late afternoon game. A couple hours delay. This game was originally scheduled for 4 p.m. and moved it to the 6 o'clock hour, and we'll be ready to roll here in day number 2. Now, to learn more about what's going on around the country, go to perfectgame.org. You can learn about showcases, events in your region, and tournaments throughout the country as the 2026 travel ball season continues to roll on. So Hernandez gets his final toss there and heading it down to Ramirez. Jimmy Stout fires it down, and we will be ready to roll here. Antonio, shout out to him, working for Perfect Game, keeping the score, keeping things in check. A lot of work behind the scenes as he'll keep things moving along. So Hernandez opens up with a strike on the batter, Terry. Plays center field for the club, and Hernandez an 0-1 count. 1-1 at the plate. Early on here this evening. Expect the lights to probably come on maybe within about an hour. I'm not sure what time it gets dark out here, but we're in the summer hours. Longer days, certainly. 1-1 count at the plate. And a good-looking pitch there. Strike up the middle. Hernandez locates there, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes on the leadoff man, Terry. As Terry steps back in on a 1-2 count. Pitch on the way. Ball swung on, chopped foul, no play. Straight back here, and we'll hold it a ball and 2 strikes. So I mentioned day number 2 of the event. That goes through till the 12th. And then a lot of teams will head down to Atlanta, Georgia for the WWBA, a big event there. And good-looking pitch outside. And Hernandez gets Terry to take a look. And Hernandez will get the K to start things off. And stepping in the 2-hitter, Hood with Keller on deck. Hood the shortstop for the club. Will step in as Hernandez ready to go. Richard, our head umpire, puts him in play. And a ball just missing low in the lower third of the plate. The count is 1-0. And a strike there. Hernandez gets the lower part of the zone. And it'll even things up here at 1-1. And a ball inside, missing on the inner third. Hood had to kind of move away from it as Hernandez came in tight on him, and the count is 2-1. Hard hit ball, deep center field, and that'll drop in. Carter Nash was playing deep, and a well-struck ball for Hood. He gets on board with a single. The 3-hitter Keller will step in. Keller plays first base for the team. And he's got Hood over at first. Hood with a couple steps, a couple extras there, and over at first base. Good stop behind the plate for Jimmy Stout. Girolamick's at first. I want to recheck that one. It originally had Easton O'Quinn at first base. High fly ball. Girolamick rolling off into foul territory to the dugout. And that ball's out of play. So no option for Girolamick rolling off of first base. Good effort nonetheless. And the count is 0-1. Correction, 1-1 count at the plate. Our head umpire, Richard, giving us that number. And we are good to go as Keller locks back in. And runner on the move and throw down to second. And that gets away. So a broken play defensively there as that ball gets through to Carter Nash and then over to third, and Hood gets all the way around. So a defensive error there and one across. Count is 2-1 at the plate. Bases are cleared. Well hit ball to the left side, on board with a single. runners in Keller over at first. So on 2 hits, 1 run over on an errant play by the prospects, and Coach Eric Ortiz out to the mound quickly to talk to Hernandez. So a little consult there just to settle things down as we're early on, top of the first frame, with 1 out on the books. Neely will step in. Shortstop with Keller at first. Trollomick holds him on. Hernandez will work from the stretch. Strike there, so Hernandez answers back, opens up with a strike. The count is 0-1. Curveball in for the strike. Good looking pitch there. And some movement off the plate. And the count is 0-2 for Hernandez. Hernandez checking first base. Keller at first. And a ball just missing on the inner third, and the count goes to 1-2. Throw back over. As Keller dives back in, Gerolomic puts the tag on. Modest lead at first. He'll take a secondary there. Pitch on the way. Back pick opportunity. Tag is on, and a good effort. Infield umpire Corey makes the call, and Keller gets back in time. Well, but a good arm in Jimmy Stout on a back pick attempt there. 2-2 pitch. High fly ball. Carter Nash making the adjustment. Coming in from center, and he'll make the grab there. Keller will come back to first. So a fly out to Carter Nash. And the prospects pick up their second out. Spolaric will step in. He's got Keller still at first. And a ball low there. The count is 1-0. And a strike there. And the count goes to 1-1. Thank you. Richard puts Hernandez back in. Keller still at first. Pitch on the way. Just missing on the inner third. And the count goes. We'll double check that as count behind the plate. 2-1. Spolaric takes a cut, fouls it back, and the count goes to 2-2. And chopped foul off to the right side. And the ball's cut foul straight back, so battle continues here at the plate. Did he go? He's got him tied up at first. And had an opportunity there as Keller was on the jump. Looked as though we're going to appeal on the infield, say did not go at the plate. So they cleared that out. And the count goes full at 3-2 with 2 outs here in the top of the first. Runner goes. High fly ball. Infield, Ramirez wants to call it, and he'll take care of it. So the Prospects, they give up a run on an errant play. Huntington Hounds score first on 2 hits. With an error, they pick 1 up. And the Prospects will get on the offensive side. Stay with us. We'll be right back. The 2026 Perfect Game Music City World Series. Chris Aller with the call. See you in a moment. Well, bringing you back into live action. We're ready to go here as on the defensive side. Nolte will be the pitcher of record. So Hudson Nolte, the right-hander, will start things off for the club, and on the offensive side, Jordan Leon will step in. Our head umpire, Richard, puts it in play. We're ready to go here. Bottom of the first frame. Prospects on the offensive side. And a well-hit ball. That ball is deep all the way back to the track, and a grab there, a high flyer for Jordan Leon. And all the way back in towards the 350 mark at center. So a well-hit ball, but deep, and center fielder able to pull it in. Terry. And 1 out. Carter Nash will step in. And a strike there, and the count is 0-1. Hard hit ball into the gap. That could drop in, and it does. A well-hit ball for Carter Nash, and he'll find himself on board with a single. And that'll bring up Easton O'Quinn. So Nash gets on board, and O'Quinn in the 3 spot will step in. So Nash over on the first base side, modest lead there. He's got good speed, though. On the move, throw down, a high throw, and Carter Nash in with the stolen bag. So Nash moves up 90 feet to second. And I believe there was a ball at the plate. We'll verify that with Richard as Easton O'Quinn steps in. cut at the plate there. So Quinn steps back in. Carter Nash at second. 1 out. 0-2 count, I believe, at the plate. There's Nash. Decent lead there. Second baseman shuffling in. He rolls off, and the ball's cut foul. A long hold here. Pitch on the way. Ball's out and elevated. Missing there. Ball and 2 strikes at the plate on Easton O'Quinn as he locks back in. Shortstop shuffling in, Neely. And he's going to move around him, shuffle around the old dance move. Pitch on the way. High fly ball. Center fielder coming in. Neely releasing. Center fielder will be able to pull it in. And Terry will take care of that in 2 outs. Mateo Victorio will step in. Mateo hitting in the 4 spot. Works some responsibilities behind the plate, managing for the club catching, and versatile player, can play some of the infield as well. Carter Nash on the move, a 1-hopper and a good steal there. So 90 feet up. Carter Nash, man, he put the pedal to the metal and took off, and a ball at the plate, and the count is 1-0. So Victoria knocking on the door here. And an opportunity here with Nash at third. And a strike on the outside part of the plate. And the count goes to 1-1. Victorio chops it foul, third base side. And Ronnie, the third base coach for the Prospects, getting a little bit of feedback like he didn't handle that hard hit ball, barehanded. And a ball and 2 strikes at the plate with 2 outs. Ball gets away there. And we'll even things up at 2-2. Nolte from the stretch. The 2-2 pitch. And strike 3 on the outside part of the plate. Victoria thought it was a ball, and they'll strand one on 1 hit. The Prospects weren't able to cash in. We'll head to the second. 1-0 Huntington Hounds. Chris Aller will be right back with the 2026 Music City World Series here in Nashville, Tennessee. Well, bringing you back into live action. We're ready to go. A big cut at the plate as Hernandez opens up with a strike. The count is 0-1. And back to back, so Hernandez working ahead here. And the count is 0-2 at the plate. Top of the second. And a ball low there, Jimmy Stout making the adjustment. So Eskew with an 0-2 count, pitch on the way. And just missing on the outside part of the plate. And the count goes to 1-2. Lights are on the field here as we'll head into the evening hours. Chopper, high roller, underhand toss there as Hernandez rolls off the mound. Geralamick takes care of it there. 3-1 handoff, and the prospects pick up the out. And a strike at the plate. And the count is 0-1. And the ball's cut foul straight back as Eskew takes a slice. As Nolte was out at first. And the count is 0-2. The 0-2 pitch for Hernandez. Swing and a miss on the outside part of the plate. And Hernandez will pick up the K as Eskew will have a seat. And the batter Williams will step in. And a big cut there for Williams as Hernandez runs it through. And a fastball locating. The count is 0-1. And elevated there. That gets away from him. Still a lot of humidity in the air. And I'm sure these guys working hard. A little bit of moisture on their hand. And sometimes it's hard to get a grip there. And the count goes to 1-1. Good pitch there. Slow roller. Actually, hard hit ball. And Ramirez, a 6-2 put out. Across the deck, he'll take care of business there. We're through the top of the second. Prospects will get on the offensive side. We'll be right back. 2026 Perfect Game, Music City World Series. Chris Allard with the call. Well, bringing you back into live action, we're ready to go here. The bottom of the second. Huntington Hounds were able to bring one over on the first frame in the top part of it. Prospects on a defensive error gets away and they're able to score. Hood was able to come all the way around on a couple of bad throws. Well, we'll move into the bottom of the second. Starting things off, Noah Gerolamick. Gerolamick ready to deal. Steps and locked in. Ball's elevated. The count goes to 1-0. Beautiful field here at the Nashville College Prep School. Great location outside the city. And Gerolamick takes a cut there, fouls it back, and the count goes even to 1-1. When you drive out this way, if you're not used to living in the country, it's quite beautiful. Greenery everywhere. At a moment coming in for myself, being a West Coast guy, I thought I almost got lost. But quite a setting here this evening. Ball is low, and the count goes to 2-1 to Gerolamick. Gerolamick, chopper, third base side, right into the glove. A good throw across, and a 5-3 putout. So a high chopper. Gerolamick like to have that one back, and Jimmy Stout will step in with one out. One down, bottom of the second. Day number 2, one a day for all these teams. Tournament will conclude on the 12th. And Stout takes a cut, fouls it off to the right side and out of play. So Stout steps back in, an 0-1 count. Nolte staying on the hill here. The 0-1 pitch. And Stout, another big cut, fouls it off to the right side. And out of play. And a ball out, and Stout looks at a ball, doesn't chase after it, and the count is 1-2 as Nolte ran him out. Richard, our head umpire, working with Corey on the infield, gives us the go at 1-2. And Stout, another foul ball to the right side. And the count holds here at a ball and 2 strikes. Stout will lock back in, and Richard, after a couple refreshes there on his baseball bag, we're back to the 1-2 pitch. Ball's elevated, we'll go to 2-2. And Stout continues to foul off as the count holds here at 2-2. And that looked like a stinger there. Stout took all of that as that gets away from Nolte. And Stout with a hard 90 down to first base. So Jimmy Stout gets on board, hit by pitch, with one out. And Trey Lawrence will step in. Keller, the first baseman for the Huntington Hounds, will work at first here with Trey Lawrence throw back over, diving back in. So Marquez running for Jimmy Stout, who's catching. And a modest lead at first there as Nolte works from the stretch. And in tight there, Trey Lawrence had to bail out as Nolte comes in high and tight. And the count is 1-0. And again, Nolte running inside as ball is up and in the upper part of the zone. And the count goes to 2-0. Marquez running for Stout at first as Nolte takes a look from the stretch. And in for a strike there. Curveball hits, and the count is 2-1. One out, bottom of the second. Ball's elevated. The count goes to 3-1. So Trey Lawrence in a hitter's count here at 3-1. And Marquez parked at first. And he did go on the outside. A strike called there. It looked like Trey had held up his swing, but a strike called at the plate. And the count goes to 3-2. Runner goes, throw down, no throw. Ball 4 elevated. And Trey Lawrence 90 feet down to first, on board with a walk. And Marquez will move over 90 feet to second. So Asher Williams will step in for the Prospects with one out. Trey Lawrence at first, Marquez at second. Neely, the shortstop, ranged up now, most of the defense is, and he'll step in, shuffle in behind Marquez and roll off. Pitch on the way. Ball is out, the count goes to 1-0. Asher Williams, high fly ball out into foul territory. Keller rolls off, but that ball's out of play. And the count goes to 1-1. So Williams with Marquez at second. Prospects knocking on the door here in the bottom of the frame. Elevated fastball, and the count goes to 2-1. Throw down to second, and no play there. Quick release for Williams out of the pop as Neely rolled over behind Marquez. Throw down, and the count is 3-1 at the plate, says Richard, our head umpire. As Williams being patient here. With Trey Lawrence at first. Marquez at second. The 3-1 pitch, elevated fastball, and the count goes a walk administered. And the bases are loaded. Stepping in, Daniel Bedard. So a visit out to the mound from head coach Caleb Stewart. And a little conversation to ensue. We'll be right back. Prospects knocking on the door here in the bottom of the second. They trail by 1. The 2026 Perfect Game Music City World Series will be right back. So the conversation concluded as Hudson Nolte, the hit by pitch and a walk administered. And Bedard will step in. And a strike outside. The count is 0-1. Nolte working from the stretch. Infield even with the bases. And time is called. Bedard will step out and reload. One out, bottom of the second. And a ball low, and the count goes to 1-1. So Bedard being patient at the plate there, not chasing the low part of the zone. And a 1-1 count. And Bedard, left side, chops it foul and out of play. And the count goes to 1-2. Time at the plate. Bedard steps out. He'll reload. Stepping off, Nolte. He'll reset as well. The 1-2 count. Bedard, chopper, first base side. They're going to come home. So out at first, but the run will come over. So 2 down, but correction. Safe at 1 out at home. And Brody Taylor will step in. Force at home there. And 2 outs on the books. Come on, Brody. Pick him up. And no movement off of the plate there, as Trey Lawrence down at third, and Coach Ronnie had him sort of set up there, not far up the line at all, an opportunity perhaps missed. And a ball at the plate, the count is 1-0. So Taylor will step in at the 1-0 count. Bedard, Williams, and Lawrence occupying all stations. And a pass ball this time. Trey Lawrence will take care of it. That ball gets through, and the prospects will even it up on a pass ball. And it's a 1-1 tie here, and the count is 2-0 at the plate to Brody Taylor. Once again, we appreciate you joining us here this evening. Moving towards the 7 p.m. hour here in Nashville, Tennessee, at the Nashville Collegiate Prep School. Beautiful field. Lights are on. A great evening for baseball. And hit by pitch there. Brody Taylor gets on the hard way. And stepping in, Aaron Ramirez. So an opportunity here for the prospects. Bases juiced and Ramirez at the plate. Line drives your friend here. 300 down to the corners. And a strike outside as Ramirez takes a look. The count's 0-1. Deep field, 350, dead center, about 330 in the gaps. elevated there, and the count goes to 1-1. So Ramirez locked back in as Nolte steps off for a second, working from the stretch. Taylor, Bedard, and Williams, first, second, third occupied. A 1-1 pitch. Good stop behind the plate for Williams. That one stayed out in front. And a ball low in the zone. The count goes to 2-1. Ramirez, big cut there as Nolte gets it through, and the count goes to 2-2. Ramirez looking for a knock here. 2-2 at the plate with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. If you're in Vegas, you're betting on the 2s. And a big cut there, Ramirez. They'll put 3, leave them on. But the Prospects, on a pass ball, were able to bring over Trey Lawrence. We'll head to the third in a 1-1 tie. So bringing you back into live action, ready to go as Christian Hernandez stays on the hill for the Prospects in a 1-1 tie, top of the third. Chris Lip will step in. They go 9, 10, 11 here in the frame. Swing and a miss on the outside, and Hernandez opens up with a strike that counts 0-1. Ball's chopped foul to the Prospects' dugout side. And an 0-2 count. And a ball missing just out. And 1-2 at the plate. And Chris Bliss laying off there, and the count goes to 2-2. Right side, shallow right to Asher Williams, and the out made there. One down. As Alexander, the 10 hitter, will step in. Here in the top of the third. And a strike there for Hernandez. So Hernandez locating with good stuff here tonight. Opens up with the strike at 0-1. Ball's popped up. Bedard rolling off of first base. No play there. And the count goes to 0-2. And strike three called there. Hernandez dials it up as Alexander takes a look back like, hey, that wasn't a strike. And Richard, our head umpire, all over it. And a K for Hernandez. Wells will step in, hitting in the 11th spot. Ball is low. The count is 1-0. Hernandez running low part of the zone, missing there, and the count is 2-0. Base is empty, 2 outs, top of the third, a 1-1 tie. So a 3-0 count like that, Hernandez behind in the count as Wells will step back in, probably taking all the way here. And a good-looking pitch there, strikeout. As Williams take a look, and Hernandez gets the outer third. The count goes to 3-1. And ball 4, so Hernandez puts on Wells, and Musco will step in. Wells and Moscow both coming in as extra hitters. Pitch on the way, ball's out. The count goes to 1-0 as Jimmy Stout wants to go out and have a word with his guy Hernandez to settle him down, saying, hey, we got 2 outs here. On the other side, Moscow looking for a knock with a runner at first in Wells. It's a 1-1 affair thus far. Prospects gave up one on an errant play in the top of the first frame. Able to answer back on a pass ball with Trey Lawrence at third, and then couldn't cash in after that with the bases loaded. Badar over at first, holding on. Pitch on the way. Good pitch outside and a strike there. Moscow takes a look. The count goes to 1-1. No movement off of first. Jimmy Stout, good block, and keeps it out in front up the line there. As Wells stays put, looked like he was potentially on the move. And the count is 2-1. And a 3-1 count, so Hernandez with a walk and behind in the count here at 3-1. Throw back over to Badar. Hernandez takes a look at first. Modest lead. A little secondary there. Pitch on the way. Runner goes. Strike at the plate. Throw down. One hopper and in and out of the glove of Ramirez. And a good backup. As Asher gets him backed up there. Strike called at the plate, and the count will go full at 3-2. Wells moves up 90 feet to second. And swing and a miss. That'll do it. Strike 3. They'll strand 1. We'll head to the bottom of the third frame, a 1-1 tie. We'll be right back. The 2026 Perfect Game Music City World Series. Chris Allard with the call. It's been a good tournament so far. Day number 2. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, bringing you back into live action. We'll be ready to go here as Williams sends it down to second base, and Nolte stays on the hill. As the prospects here back at the top with Jordan Leon leading things off. And a 1-1 tie here in the bottom of the third. 7 innings to play, or 2 hours, whatever takes place first. And in a tie situation, we'll go to the California rule, or Texas rule, or whatever state you want to call it, where runners get on and how to work from there. Leon ready to go. Jordan looks at a strike. The count's 0-1. Coach Ronnie heads down to the third base side. Coach Carlos Avila keeping with his guys in the dugout, and a ball missing out, and the count goes to 1-1. And a ball low in the zone. Leon takes a look and gets the low part called. Nolte does, and the count is 1-2. And swing and a miss, Jordan Leon. He'll have a seat as Nolte gets the K, and Carter Nash will step in. Carter Nash singled his last at bat. And strike in the low part of the plate. So Nolte's getting the low part of the zone called. And the count is 0-1. Hard hit ball, third base side. And pulled foul. A little bit of noise from the cheerleading side, calling Ronnie out like not fielding that ball. But at least he's down the hill there running for it. And the count is at 0-2. And a big cut there. And that'll do it. Inside pitch there gets Carter Nash. And a pair of Ks for Nolte, and Easton O'Quinn will step in. The prospects with 2 down here in the bottom of the third. Elevated fastball. The count goes to 1-0. Oh, no, 1-1. I'm sorry. I thought you were the count. And a backstop ball, and the count goes to 2-0. So 2-0 at the plate to Easton O'Quinn. And a ball up. The count goes to 3-0. And O'Quinn had to move away from that one. He got it right between the wings there. And a hit by pitch. That's 2 today for Nolte. And the hard way down for O'Quinn, 90 feet to first and on board. 2 outs, bottom of the third frame with O'Quinn at first. And Victorio will step in. So Nateo looking for something here as Nolte works from the stretch. And a ball low, the count is 1-0. So 1-0 at the plate to Victorio. And O'Quinn over at first. Runner goes. No throw down as Williams couldn't pull it out of the glove quick enough. And O'Quinn with a good jump and a ball at the plate. And a 2-0 count. So Victoria just looking for a knock anywhere. Line drives your friend. Nolte on the other side looking for an out. Pitch on the way upstairs, and the count goes to 3-0. On deck, Noah Gerolimic for the Prospects. And ball four, a 4-pitch walk to Victorio. And stepping in, Noah Gerolimic. And the infield comes in, shortstop Neely, just to talk to his pitcher. With O'Quinn parked at second and Victorio over at first. So Gerolimic will step in with 2 down. Hard hit ball back up the middle. Deep into center, rounding is O'Quinn. And like that, Noah Gerolimic with a rip back up the middle. And a hard hit ball on board with a single and an RBI. And the count. Outs, 2 on the books. Bottom of the third, Prospects move ahead on Gerolimic's single and an RBI. Stepping in, Jimmy Stout. Ball just missing there, ball down. And Jimmy Stout being patient at the plate with runners at first and second. Prospects move ahead on Gerolimic's RBI single. Victorio at second, defense ranged up. High fly ball. Should be able to make that play there. Right fielder coming in. And the ball's dropped. There's no play there. And coming home, and they'll shut down Gerolimic at third. And what looked like a routine fly out, and that would have shut the inning down. Instead, the ball was dropped in and out of the glove on the right side for Essek. And they're going to run for Stout. Marquez will step in. So the Prospects will get their third over. And runners at the corners now. Trey Lawrence will step in. Good stop behind the plate for Williams, and the count is 1-0. And a 2-0 count at the plate to Trey Lawrence. Marquez at first, on the move, pitch on the way, high fly ball. Right fielder coming in, and the second baseman rolling off, and he makes the grab. And a good barrel there for high flyer, but Gerolimic does his thing. And everybody were able to get the best out of they could out of the frame. We'll head to the fourth. Prospects leading this one 3-1. We'll be right back. So bringing you back in, Hernandez here, getting his warm-up tosses in, and we'll be ready to roll here in the top of the fourth frame. Prospects able to get things started off in the bottom of the third as Stout fires it down to second. And we'll be ready to go here. To learn more about what's going on in the world of Perfect Game Baseball, go to perfectgame.org, or to learn about what's happening in the world of the ZT Baseball organization, you can go to the ZT Baseball Club Facebook page. Academies around the country, and ZT continuing to support underserved communities, giving players opportunities at all levels, and contributing to the efforts there through the ZT Athletic Foundation. Time is called at the plate. Terry steps out for a moment, and he will reset at the top of the order here for your Huntington Hounds. And good looking pitch there in her third. Chopper third base side. Easton O'Quinn's going to play some catch across the deck. Bedar. And the tag is on as Bedar gloves it. Puts the tag on. Good throw across. 5-3 put out on the books. And one down. Hood will step in. Hood in the first frame. Singled, got on board, and then a couple of defensive mistakes on the prospects brought him all the way home. That was their first run in the top of the first frame. Good looking pitch there, strike at the plate. And the count is 0-1. And a ball on the inside. Missing there, and the count goes to 1-1. And right back to Hernandez, and he gloved that one. An efficient play there for Christian Hernandez. 1-3 put out under the hand to Bedar, and 2 outs on the books. Keller, the shortstop, will step in. And a strike there for Hernandez to open up. The count's 0-1. 2 outs, top of the fourth frame. Coach Eric Ortiz sending the pitch calls in. And a strike there on the inner third of the play. Keller takes a look, and Hernandez works ahead here at 0-2. Keller takes a cut. Jimmy Stout kind of shaking off something there. Looked like he maybe got it off his shin guard or his cleat. He's good. Keller takes a swing, and the count holds at 0-2. Ball's up, and the count goes to 1-2. And swing and a miss. Good looking pitch there. Curveball on the inside part of the plate. Gets Keller swinging. Hernandez will get the K. They'll get the out. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth. ZT Prospects leading this one 3-1 over the Huntington Hounds. Day number 2, game 2. The 2026 Perfect Game Music City World Series. Chris Allard with the call. I'll be right back. And bringing you back into live action, Asher Williams will start things off for the Prospects here in the bottom of the fourth. The ball out, the count is 1-0. Prospects in the bottom of the frame, they go 8, 9, 10 here. Bedar on deck for the Prospects. Williams takes a cut, fouls it off to the right side and out of play. So 1-1 count at the plate as Williams reloads and locks in. Nolte continues to stay on the hill for your Huntington Hounds. Pitch on the way. Ball missing up, and the count goes to 2-1. And a strike there. Nolte makes the adjustment, gets the top part of the zone called, and the count goes to 2-2. And a ball just missing out, and the count goes full at 3-2. And Williams takes a cut. Asher fouls it off to the right side and out of play. Lights are on here as we move in towards the 7:30 p.m. hour here in Nashville, and ball 4 outside. So Williams patient at the plate and gets on board 90 feet with a walk. And no outs, and Danielle Bedard will step in. So Williams down at first, on board with a walk, as Bedard steps in the 9 spot, and Brody Taylor on deck. Keller holding on Williams at first. Nolte from the stretch, throw back over, back in time, dives back in, and infield umpire Corey says, no, you're back in time. Bedard, a little maintenance on the elbow guard there, locks back in, we're ready to go. Ball's out, the count's 1-0. Throw back over. Corey, the infield umpire, says, nope, you're back in. Williams dives in as Keller puts the tag on him. And Bedard looks at a strike there, and the count goes to 1-1. Sounds like the Friday night racetrack is open, and the count is 1-1. At the plate, Nolte takes a look. Williams, decent lead, pitch on the way, ball is low. A good stop, back pick attempt there, as Williams sends it down to Keller. And the count is 2-1. Bedard, right side, that ball gets through. And on his way, shutting it down, Asher Williams has got to get back. Boy, he rounded second and a good throw in, but Bedard, with good contact, gets on board with a single. And runners at first and second for the Prospects. So Bedard to the right side gets it through. And that'll bring up Brody Taylor. No outs, bottom of the 4th. Prospects leading this one 3-1. A long look for Nolte. And Taylor looks at a strike on the inner third. Taylor not going after that, and the count is 0-1. Williams at second, Bedard at first. Taylor left side, cut foul and out of play. Count is 0-2 at the plate. Fastball up and out, and the count goes to 1-2. And strike 3 call, curveball in. Taylor takes a look. And Nolte will get the strikeout. And 1 out on the books, and Aaron Ramirez will step in. Ramirez ready to go here with runners at first and second and 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 4th frame. Nolte takes a look. Pitch on the way. And Ramirez lays off there, and the count is 1-0. Ball upstairs, Ramirez lays off, and the count's 2-0. On deck for the Prospects, Jordan Leon. Prospects will get back to the top here with one out. Ramirez looking for a knock. Bedard at first, Asher Williams at second. And the count goes to 3-0. So Ramirez being patient. And Ramirez taking there as Nolte locates the outer third, gets the strike called. The count is 3-1. Ramirez in a hitter's count here with runners at first and second. Ramirez will step out, granted at the plate. Richard, our head umpire, says, all right, you can reload here. As he steps out and ready to go. Nolte takes a look, defense ranged up. Pitch on the way. And strike two there, and curveball hits the outside part of the plate. The count goes full at 3-2. So a full count to Ramirez with one out. And Ramirez swinging a miss, strike three, that'll do it. Ramirez will have a seat, and Nolte gets the K. And two outs on the books. Back to the top, Jordan Leon. Keller shuffling in a little bit in the shortstop position behind Williams. And a ball out, the count goes to 1-0. So Leon with men at first and second and two outs. Second baseman dancing around, he'll roll off. Pitch, no move there for Nolte. Take a look at second base. He steps off. Leon locks back in. And a strike outside. Leon takes a look, and we'll even up at 1-1. Leon, well hit ball left side. That ball's going to drop in, and Leon will head to first, and he's going to shut it down in an RBI single. A rip to the left side for Jordan Leon, and Asher Williams will come home, and the Prospects will pick up their fourth as Leon gets an RBI single. So Bedard moves up 90 feet to second. And that'll bring up Carter Nash here. Nash hitting in the 2 spot for the club. As the Prospects pick up their fourth on a single by Jordan Leon. Ball's up, the count goes to 1-0. And a strike on the inside part of the plate. Carter thought it was a ball. Got the lower part of the zone there called. And the count evens up at 1-1. Right at 7:30 p.m. here this Friday night in Nashville. Hope you're having a good evening wherever you are as summer continues to roll on here at the Nashville Collegiate Prep Baseball Facility, a beautiful complex here. Count is 2-1. Time called at the plate. Richard grants it. Carter Nash steps out. He'll reload as Nolte steps off on the rubber there. And strike there, so Carter Nash takes a look. Outside part of the plate located. And Nolte ties him up at 2-2. 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. Game number 2. And day 2 for the 2026 Perfect Game Music City World Series as Carter Nash takes a cut at the plate. Nolte gets it through in the K. They'll strand a couple, but Jordan Leon gets the RBI single. The Prospects lead this one 4-1. We'll head to the 5th. We'll be right back. So bringing you back in live, Hernandez stays on the hill. We're ready to go as Keller steps in, pitch on the way. And a ball's chopped foul to the right side, and the count is 0-1. And a good-looking pitch there for Hernandez. Gets the strike cold as Keller lays off. And ahead in the count here at 0-2 in the top of the 5th frame. Prospects leading this one 4-1. And a ball low on the inside part of the plate. And the count goes to 1-2. So Hernandez. And the 1-2 pitch. Hard hit ball. Good grab from Geralamick over there at shortstop. A 6-3 put out across to Mateo Victorio. And the Prospects will pick up their first out here. Right side backing up, Brody Taylor. A well-hit ball and a high flyer to Taylor. He'll take care of that. He'll pull it in as Neely will have a seat as he runs back to the dugout. And 2 down on the books. So Taylor reels that one in. And 2 outs on the books like that for Hernandez and the prospects. Nolte will step in. Righty-lefty matchup. High fly ball. Carter Nash doesn't have to go too far, and an easy grab there. A 1-2-3 inning for Christian Hernandez and the prospects. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. They lead this one 4-1. The 2026 perfect game. Music City World Series. Chris Aller with the call. Stay with me. I'll be right back. And just bringing you back in live there, an adjustment in center field. The out was played by Trey Lawrence. Stay with us as we head to the bottom of the 5th frame. Prospects will get on the offensive side. Now we're ready to go here as Easton O'Quinn steps in, takes a cut foul. Pitching change for the Huntington Hounds as ball's fouled off. The count is 0. Well hit ball, center fielder, right fielder, both of them heading a long route for center fielder. And a hard hit ball as Terry chases that one down. And O'Quinn will have a seat, 1 out. Pitching change.
Good. How are you?
As Cusick on the hill has a change around there. So Victoria will step in with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Prospects leading this one 4-1. Huntington Hounds with a pitching change, and Cusick steps in. Pitch on the way. Ball out, the count goes to 1-0. And a ball low in the zone, the count goes to 2-0. So Victoria laying off there. And a 2-0 count here with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. We'll play 7 or 2 hours, whatever transpires first, as the 2-0 pitch on the way. Ball is low and out. The count goes to 3-0. Closing in here about 20 minutes for 8 p.m. here in Nashville, Tennessee. Friday night under the lights. And a 4-pitch walk. Victorio gets on the easy way. A free ride 90 feet down to first. and finds himself on board with Noah Gerolamick stepping in. So Gerolamick steps in facing Escusic for the first time. Victorio over at first. That ball's elevated, and the count is 1-0. Keller still at first. And swing and a miss there at the plate. That gets through, and the count evens up at 1-1. Ball low. And Victorio dancing around off of first base. No throw back for Williams. And the count is 2-1. On the move, high fly ball, right side. That's going to get in the gap. A well-hit ball for Gerolamick. To the fence line, rounding third, Victorio. They're thrown into second, no play there. And Noah Gerolamick with a double and an RBI, a well-hit ball deep into the gap. And Gerolamick stays hot here today. And in with a double and an RBI. And the Prospects pick up their fifth here in the bottom of the fifth frame, and Jimmy Stout will step in. He takes a cut, fouls it off. No play there. And the count is 0-1. So Gerolamick parked at second, defense ranged up. One out, bottom of the fifth, 5-1 Prospects. Ball is low. Williams with a good stop out in front behind the plate. And the count goes to 1-1. I mentioned the lights are on the field here as we're heading towards the 8 p.m. hour. Here in the bottom of the fifth frame. Pitch on the way. And a late call there, but a strike on the inner third of the plate. Good call for our head umpire, Richard. Jimmy thought it might have been a ball, laid off, and the count goes to 1-2. We'll shake off there for Cusick. Takes a look at second. Running to third, pulled foul to the left side, and Gerolamick was on the move. Hit and run there, and Jimmy Stout fouls it off. So the count holds at a ball and 2 strikes at the plate. With Gerolamick at second. And chop foul again to the left side and out of play. Coach Ronnie doing a job there, grabbing a baseball. Coaching third base for the Prospects here. The 1-2 pitch. And a big cut there. Jimmy Stout takes a cut, and Cusick gets through, gets the K. And 2 outs on the books. Stepping in, Trey Lawrence. Lawrence hitting in the 7 spot here. And Gerolamick over at second with the double in the RBI. The runner goes. Throw down to third. A high throw. The tag is on. And our infield umpire, Corey, says no. He's back in time. Gerolamick gets down quickly. Had a good jump. But Williams came out of the pop and a good throw down. But Geralamick beats it down there and 90 feet up and parked at third in an opportunity here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Ball on the inside low. And Williams again, keeping it out in front. The count's 3-0 to Trey Lawrence. The 3-0 pitch on the way. Strike called there, Lawrence taking. And the count goes to 3-1. And a big cut there, and 3-2 as that gets through. And the count's full here with 2 outs. So Lawrence locks back in with a full count. Geralamick parked at third. And Lawrence chops it foul. And will stay alive here at 3-2. And a ball is low, ball 4. So Trey Lawrence, patient at the plate, moves up on a freebie. 90 feet to first, and runners at the corners, and Asher Williams will step in. So Williams with 2 outs. Throw back over to Williams. Correction, Keller at first. Lawrence gets back in time. Runner goes. Strike called there, and Trey Lawrence takes off, moves up 90 feet. No throw down. Strike called at the plate. The count is 0-1. Geralamick parked at third. Hard hit ball. That ball well hit, left side. And Asher Williams, they're going to run him in. Throw it to home is not in time. And Asher Williams with a single and a 2-run RBI. So Williams with a good hit down to the third base side. And he'll bring 2 more over. So runs 6 and 7 on the single for Asher Williams. Daniel Bedar will step in. Bedar singled his last at bat. Asher Williams at first. Keller holding him on. And a ball elevated. The count is 1-0. Time is called. Bedar granted at the plate. Says, Richard, you're good, but you got to step back in when I'm ready. It's not often, occasionally we've seen umpires not grant it. Pitcher will throw the pitch and a strike called. So I got to be alert, but Bedar locked back in. 1-0 pitch. And D lays off there. Looked like he was ready to pull the trigger. And the count goes to 1-1. Bedar just gets the barrel on it, fouls it off, and the count is 1-2. Low part of the zone there. Looked like he was going to check up, but by the time that was happening, the ball had already hit the barrel. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. 7-1 Prospects. Sheralamick. The double and 2 runs for him. Badar over into foul territory, and that'll be pulled in on the third base side. So Alexander will pull it in, but the Prospects, they add a couple here in the bottom of the 5th. 7-1 affair. We'll head to the 6th. Stay with us. We'll be right back. The 2026 Perfect Game Music City World Series. Chris Aller with the call. Thank you for joining us. We'll be right back. I'll bring you back into live action here as Skusic bunt attempt there gets it through for Hernandez, and the count is 0-1. And a swing and a miss, fastball upstairs, and the count goes to 0-2. And a ball swung on, fouled straight back. And the count stays at 0-2. Ball's upstairs, the count goes to 1-2. And Hernandez thought he might have had the outer third, and missing there, the count goes to 2-2. Pop up behind the plate. That's out of play. And the count holds here at 2-2. Strike 3 outside. Hernandez gets the outer third called. And Hernandez with a strikeout to open things up here in the 6th. And 1 out. So Williams looks at a ball, and the count is 1-0. And a 2-0 count at the plate to Williams, the catcher. A nice job for Huntington Hounds here today. With 1 out of the books here in the top of the 6th. And Hernandez makes the adjustment. And no call there. Looked like a strike up the middle. And the count is 3-0. And ball 4. And a strike at the plate to open up here. The runner over on the first base side. They're going to run for the catcher, Williams. As Crislip steps in. Hernandez works from the stretch. Takes a look over on the first base side. Geralamick at first now. As the makeup of this organization, there's a lot of position players in this roster. The guys can move around, a lot of versatility here. Easton O'Quinn now at second, Jordan Leon at short, and Williams over on the third base side. Ball's fouled off, out of play. Count is 1-2. Throw back over. Williams running for him and Escusick. Chopper. Jordan Leon. Throw across is in time. 6-3 put out. And Geralamick runs it over to O'Quinn at second, but in time. Runner gets back. So 0-1 at the plate. To Alexander. Alexander hitting in the 10 spot. Runner at second, pitch on the way. Ball's elevated. The count goes to 1-1 on the fastball. Two outs, top of the 6, 7-1 prospects. And a strike there, and the count goes to 1-2. Hernandez thought he had a strike. Everybody was moving like that was called there, and the count goes to 2-2. A little bit outside and low. As Alexander will step back in with a 2-2 count. Strike 3 called. The low part of the plate. Alexander has the seat. Hernandez continues to roll through here as the prospects will head to the bottom of the 6th. They lead at 7-1. We'll be right back. The 2026 Perfect Game Music City World Series. Chris Aller with the call. Thank you for joining us here this evening, this Friday night. We'll be right back. Well, bring you back into live action. We're ready to go here as Brody Taylor will step in. As we're now Friday night under the lights here as the prospects in the bottom of the sixth. As I mentioned, 7 innings or 2 hours, whatever transpires first. And the prospects here in the frame with Brody Taylor stepping in. 10-11-1. Pitch on the way. Ball's upstairs. The count is 1-0. Correction, 2-0 count at the plate. Just a little past the 8 p.m. hour here in Nashville, and that ball bounces and the count goes to 3-0. So Taylor and the prospects looking to add on here in the bottom of the sixth as they lead this one. They got their bats moving in the fifth and in the fourth as well. Pitch on the way. And ball four, a 4-pitch walk to Brody Taylor, 90 feet down to first. He's on board. And Aaron Ramirez will step in. Ramirez, slow roller, third base side, a little trouble in and out of the glove. And Ramirez gets on board with good wheels down 90 feet to first. And runners at first and second with Jordan Leon stepping in. Ball low to Leon. And the count is 1-0. Ramirez at first, Taylor at second. Jordan Leon, high pop-up. Third baseman, shortstop coming in. Infield fly called from the umpire. So 1 out. And Carter Nash will step in.
Yeah, it's over. Time's expired, yeah. Home team's back. Yeah.
And that'll do it. Time expires with the home team at bat leading this one. 7-1, the prospects. They do it in fine fashion. They get the production they needed in key points throughout this game. And a little slow to start things off, but the prospects do it 7-1 as time expires in the bottom of the sixth and 2 runners on with 1 out. Prospects, game number 2. Players will shake hands at home plate. That's really what it's all about. Sportsmanship prevails, and a good contest early on, and the prospects finally got it going. So the Huntington Hounds will continue on their journey here, as well as the prospects, with 2 victories in a row yesterday and today. And they'll play again tomorrow. We'll be bringing it live here. Chris Schuyler with the call. The prospects do it in fine fashion, 7-1 over the Huntington Hounds. Again, it's been a great day and great tournament so far. The perfect game, 2026 Music City World Series. As the ZT prospects will take this one. We'll bring it back to you live again tomorrow. For our head umpire, Richard, his partner, Corey, and Antonio with perfect game. We'll say so long from Nashville, Tennessee. This one's officially in the books.